Voices Radio.
Hello, it's Sherief representing Voices Radio. We out here 2023. I'm joined by the wonderful Alexander Nutt, who's just finished his set with Chunky at the Lemon Lounge. Hey, Alex.
How you doing, Sherief?
I saw you play as well at the Eglo Records takeover at the Roller Disco yesterday, and it was such good vibes all night. So how did this set compare?
It was really good. We did an Eglo night last night, so it's a very particular thing. It was nice to play just a set to myself, go deep into my taste, but I really like doing a back-to-back with Chunky as well, because we've both got very broad musical taste, a love for DJing of different styles and genres, so I like the kind of difference between the two sets. Lemon Lounge as well is always good fun. People are ready quite early. It was great.
It's always heaving in Lemon Lounge, isn't it? When you play your sets, you tend to like to draw a lot of different types of music together. And I also think that is a representation of Eglo Records as well. Like, you've done so many great releases and really kickstarted a lot of people's careers, such as Fatima and Funkin' Even and stuff back in the day. And how's that all developed at Eglo as a concept?
I mean, it's kind of just open wide now. At one point it was a small, like the first couple of years was kind of like a small close-knit community of people. And that was like Floating Points, Funkin' Even, Fatima, myself. And then as we travelled and did things, we met other people like Steve Spacek and Miss Beats came on board and people like that. Whereas now it kind of feels like a much wider, more open. There was never a brief in the first place, but the brief is now sort of bigger than it was before. It was more like a friend's project that turned into a full-time job in a record label, and now we've got people from LA, Australia, New Zealand, Japan releasing music. So yeah, that's the evolution really. It's just there's no one single thing that it is, but whatever it is, it's just kind of growing, and I feel like it's reached a bit more of a senior status as well. It's been 15 years now. So yeah, we're not like the new kids on the block anymore.
Yeah. What is it you look for when you're looking to release on the label?
I struggle to come up with the words to describe it, but there is something there. There's like a backbone to it all. I think, there's so many things that made the connections, which was like Plastic People, Sounds of Universe Records, Rinse FM, NTS, and all these things, and a culmination of different club nights. And the ethos has come from that sort of journey, and that ethos is still there. And just like a night at Plastic, it might be a techno night, it might be a hip hop night, it might be a dubstep night, soul, disco. That's quite representative of like the sort of the ethos of the label, really. There is a link there, but it's for you to work out for yourself,
I don't actually see it just as a label. You do parties, obviously did a takeover here. It's a different kind of headspace to be in, as well as like pushing out actual records. So how do you kind of get the balance of running it like a business, but also getting the creative balance right?
Yeah. The emphasis is on the creative stuff rather than the business, to be honest. Obviously you got to maintain a business and run it, but it's not run for business purposes. So the emphasis is always on the music, the creative energy, the art, the artists that we're working with. And then even doing stuff here, it's kind of family, like the people that run this, Giles and Noah and crew. We've been working with them for a long time, various different incarnations of what this is right now. So it's always like a family affair, really.
Yeah.
And as much as it is a big thing, it's still like a close-knit group of people in a way.
Yeah, I think that's the feeling of this festival. It feels like that, and I think that is a representation of all the scenes that come together and collaborate for this event. But then also the people that it draws are also open and friendly, and having the family aspect as well is really kind of heartwarming. Would you agree?
For sure, man. It's a different location this time, so I definitely feel like even the crowd is growing outside of what we've seen at the previous few festivals. But yeah, it's always been an open policy, but very much familiar faces and friends. And yeah, man, young and old. It's nice to see all the kids running about.
That's what I also noticed yesterday was the diversity at your set was a proper celebration, all different ages and backgrounds. And it really feels like a party. Like, there's quite a lot of nights you go to festivals where crowd's a bit static, music's quite serious. But I always feel like there, especially with Eglo yesterday, it just felt like a party. It was very open and welcoming. So I think you guys brought the vibes there. And so what's next for Eglo? Do you have more releases on the horizon, more nights coming up?
Yeah, we got, there's a Fatima EP coming in about 2 months. I would say 2 months, maybe it come before, but it's close to finish. Really excited about that. It's the first new for Team of Music in quite a while. Well, solo music, she's done a few features and stuff. And then working on something special for next year for the 15 years at Eglo. We just put out Chunky's album, so I'm sure we'll do another single, another remix of one of the tracks on Chunky's album. Yeah, that's still fresh, man. It was two or 3 months ago we dropped that, and just want to continue to push Chunky's album. But yeah, there'll be some special stuff happening next year for 15 years at Eglo as well. Some collaborative projects.
So you do a lot of DJing with radio, and I just want to know, because we have a lot of different DJs, aspiring DJs and musicians and producers in the Voices Network. What advice would you say to find your creative voice on radio, to find your rhythm and to kind of break through that scene?
Don't rush it. Don't try and be like someone that's just approaching it as some type of job. You know, when there's creativity involved, there's nothing wrong with looking at things as a career when it becomes that, but I think the emphasis needs to be on the creative spirit and finding your road, the things you love, the things you enjoy, the things you don't want to do, and just, you know, feel your way through it, take your time and figure out who you are. Don't just try and fit into something that exists because it's kind of functional. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be functional. It should be way more personal than that, and yeah, take your time.
Thank you, Alex, for your time. It's really great to be able to speak to you and also to hear your thoughts to offer to our community as well. So thanks a lot, man. Big ups.
Appreciate it.